next film is the action sci-fi film Equilibrium, directed by Kurt Wimmer from 2002. Christian Bale plays cleric John Preston, an agent of the government in a post-World War III society where the government has decided that the best way to prevent future wars is to eliminate all emotion and anything that might bring out emotion in individuals. The film is certainly inspired by The Matrix and the success of The Matrix. It has a similar look and feel to it as far as the action sequences go. And the story is pretty much a combination of Fahrenheit 451 and
1984.
1984, yes. So nothing overly original there. However, a strong cast, which also includes Sean Bean and Emily Watson, is somebody who runs afoul of the government's ban on art, so to speak, makes what is a fairly straightforward story more interesting. Also, the action sequences are not as strong as The Matrix, but how many films are as strong as The Matrix, still hold up to the day. I watched this movie about a month ago, and the action sequences are still impressive, fun to watch, and the story, it holds together well. And there are some strong scenes that resonate emotionally, especially between Emily Watson's character and Christian Bale's. So this is a very strong sci-fi film. It does what sci-fi films want to do as far as having a deeper message and also entertaining with the action. I give it 3.5 out of 4 stars.
You know, I will never criticize a movie for relying on plot formulas or even old ideas, as long as it's done well, and that's the case here. You're right. You know, the plot is derivative. There isn't much that is new, but it is done well. It is, for the most part, well acted. The action scenes are cool. Two people you forgot to mention are Sean Pertwee as the father and Angus McFadden as his number 2 man. They were splendidly creepy.
Sure. And
I thought they were very, very good. You mentioned the dazzling fight scenes, and they are dazzling. They're all fun to watch. One thing that really impressed me was the gun katas, where he just does this martial arts thing with the guns. I thought that was really cool. I wish they had more of them because they were just so fun to watch. Emily Watson didn't impress me as much as she usually does. I just didn't think she had her heart invested in it, and I thought Taye Diggs was miscast as Bale's rival. I thought that role, you should have switched roles with Sean Bean. I thought that would have made it a lot stronger. Sure. One thing I have to criticize this for, and call me overly sensitive or cliche, but I think one of the cheapest shots you can take is to show animal cruelty. It's such a cheap shot to get an emotion that for the most part isn't warranted. And the scene where Christian Bale's character is forced to brutally murder about a dozen dogs, I mean, it is so crass and cynical and manipulative. And if you're going to do something like that, you have to ask yourself, is there another way that I can get this point across without resorting to such, a cheap trick? And this movie doesn't warrant it. There are plenty of other times where there are plenty of other ways they could have made the same point without, doing something so brutal. And that's the main flaw I have with this film. It is entertaining. I do recommend it. I give it a 3 out of 4.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that scene up because I've heard other people have similar reservations. I think there's reservations against killing children and killing animals in any film. And like you said, what's the point? Is it necessary?
Yeah.
So in this film, I felt like it didn't. I do take exception at times to that. Even in the new It film, the opening scene, they showed more than I expected to see as far as a child's death in a film. It wasn't really necessary because the rest of the movie, was creepy, pulled back at parts where that scene didn't. So I shared that even with the animals as well. However, in the film, I think you said that Christian Bale's character killed him. He witnesses.
Oh,
he's there. He witnesses. I felt like it was necessary for the reason of the fact that his character is going around killing individuals. So even when he's without giving anything away, even when he's upset about the loss of life of somebody near him, he still hasn't made that leap to. It's not enough to change him. Yeah, that scene is kind of the catalyst for him. So for that, I felt like. It was awesome. They show him. You hear what's happening, so it's disturbing. Yeah. But they show his reaction, and with that being the catalyst for what causes a change in him, or at least to be open to that maybe the way that he's doing things, what the government wants him to do isn't the right thing, and because his job is taking lives on a daily basis. Yeah. For that reason, in this film, I felt like it was okay, but I respect that for those who don't.
Yeah, I just don't think it was warranted in this film. I think there are other ways that catalyst could have been brought about that aren't as, that aren't so manipulative and cynical and vile. I mean, because if you're going to do something like that, the audience is going to be shocked and disgusted and disturbed. And I no problem with a movie doing that as long as there's a reason behind it. And in this movie, I just didn't think it was warranted. But it is a good movie. I do recommend it. I give it a 3 out of 4.
Okay, 3.5 for me.